Yo, yo, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Right on time, baby.
Man, the CEGs gapping up a bunch again. BST. Crypto's pretty strong, right? Yeah, I bet no, it was kind of fading off a little bit. Oh no, this is
MSTR got an upgrade this morning.
nice. Samari looks good. Bhutan looks good. Man, I love when I know I talk about this all the time, but I love when these set up like this and then get that week open and then
Say that
go.
again?
I love when these set up like this, like Piton, and they get that week open. And then like I'm looking at the 65 minute, and then I gap down near like 475 or 480, and then go to that red to green. So much easier to trade. Mm. Anything changed from yesterday for you?
No.
Mm. Tesla or Meta, nice gap up. I think I'm gonna buy this TNDM today. Sent alert at 22:30 on AMSC.
Oh, this KVL just spiked 100% in 2 minutes. Damn, I didn't send the headline.
Wow, it's a tiny little guy. We'll get going in a minute here. I think I'm gonna move this into it a little bit higher on my list. Like the way these past few days are building out. Take a look at this 65 minute. It's gotta kind of get pushing today. I think I'm like 660 is kind of the area that I'm looking at. Okay. Like that. Is XBI gonna do it today? A little baby kicker candle.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's all right. How we doing, everybody? Welcome. Good morning. Come on in. Let's get to work. Happy Monday. We got we got stuff to do, people to see. Um, so we'll take a look at SPY here. Not really much has changed since yesterday evening. Gapping up $1. Um, yeah, gapping up $1. Still holding this trend. Watching this previous all-time high spot right here around this 463, 464 mark. Where are the low? There we go. This 565 to 563.40. So there is. I want to see this hold. And then as long as that kind of maintains, we don't really need to pay attention to it. QQQ, a little bit weaker this morning than SPY. Not a little bit weaker, but only up 70 cents. Same thing, nothing really to cover. Watching this down below, pretty much Friday's low, a little bit even below that would be okay for it to hold. And then keep chopping around this 485 zone is just fine. Yeah, this looks, I like this. I kind of have this like sneaking suspicion or, gut feeling, I suppose, that QQQ might try to, somewhat outperform this week. Um, it, like, Burger, I started looking at this chart last night and was like, okay, kind of blank everything out a little bit, block out some of the noise. If you're just looking at this as an individual, like, stock look, like you'd be fairly interested in this over, right? I mean, I would be over if we kind of get over this 485 hump. I'd be pretty interested in trading that directly if this were an individual stock. I would want to see it tighten up a little bit and maybe even give like a low sweeping candle, but the way that this is kind of like a little baby EMA crossback, I think might have to be willing to give this a little bit more attention than um just saying that it's, relatively weak, which it is. Um, but that's only lasted for a couple, 6 weeks or so. Same thing with this SMH. Like if I'm looking at this just directly as a chart, I am fairly interested in the way that it looks, especially if it builds out, gets this 50 SMA to flatten up. You've got a launch pad there with the 9, the 20, the 50 all hanging out with the price kind of retracing back in. I don't know. I'm fairly interested. Um, Again, I think it's a little bit early here for Monday morning. IWM needs a couple more days of rest, but this XBI though, I like the way this has some potential this morning. I think. Don't know if it's going to happen today, maybe tomorrow, but I think this does have the look and feel of that it's going to really try to attack this 103 what is it, 103.50 spot. And if this does end up going, like, it'd be like a little bit of like a baby kicker candle today. So where you've got, you don't fully have the week close, but fairly red on Friday, down almost 1%. And you've got a 0.5% gap up to where if you do end up taking out Friday's high, 102.36, I think this has the writing to go make an attempt at that 103.50 spot. It's the longest we've seen it, build out up here without, having a sweeping candle. So as long as we avoid this like 9-3 look candle, man, I think this is shaping up nicely. And you can see in the charts too, there's still a lot of biotech stocks that look good. Anyway, Brock, I know you've been at the desk looking at some things. Want to see what if there's anything extra that you found, or what are you thinking?
We'll do. Let me bring my screen up here. All right. Yeah, so for I don't got anything to really say on the indexes. You've covered that pretty well. For individual stocks, I'm just gonna, I got technically on my focus list today. So I got this Piton on there. I had an alert set at $5, went off in the pre-market. I think this could be playable today. nice gap up. This $5 has been a tough spot. Clearly some supply up here, some of these upper wicks, but this is built out really nice, gone sideways for a couple weeks now. Red to green would have been awesome on this, but sometimes, some of those gap ups can be even better because, a lot of people kind of got to chase it. So I think this is probably a top 3 watch today. Same with this TEM. I got an alert set at 56. I'd buy this through 56 with a stop at lows of the day. It's trading 55.60 right now. Love the pullback to the 50-day in these IPO highs here, EMA crossback. I could see this need more time below 56, but I think this is still one of the better looks today. If the market holds up, I think this is a strong look here today. So Zoom and UPST are kind of two I got on my focus that I think could take, another day or two to get tighter. Like this Zoom is, popping up over Thursday and Friday's highs, but I still got this like 68.50 spot, which is this horizontal line that I think this could tighten up below and set up, or it's going to bust right through today. And it's kind of same thing with this UPST. This thing on this previous run, it's like it's trends off this like 65-minute 20 EMA. Just grinds higher, and we're kind of like flagging into that area right now and into this $40 level in the pre-market. So this could go today, might not even need more sideways time. So Zoom and UPST are like debatable on like if they're ready today, but I would love to see a little more build out on those, but I'll be watching those couple today. Large caps, I'm watching Netflix and Nvidia. Believe it or not, this Netflix got a really nice 65-minute pattern. You can see back at this $700 level, back here in late August, it had these upper wicks and, really had trouble breaking that spot. And now the last couple of days have came back into 700 and supported at that level, which I do like. And, some of these we've seen, once they really get that break and that juice through, the all-time highs, the previous all-time highs were 799 cents. So we're holding over that previous all-time high now. I think this 65 minutes worth a look if this breaks this little flag and gets through Friday's highs. So be watching this. You keep getting these upper wicks. You still got some sellers up here, but I think we're taking out some supply, and this is getting stronger each day. It goes sideways above this level. And then this NVIDIA is interesting. So you can see here my 65-minute chart on the left. So these moving averages here, these are the daily moving averages overlaid on the 65 minutes. So these moving averages you see are where the moving averages are on the daily. So you can see on the daily chart, all the moving averages are kind of pinched in one little spot. You can see it clear on the 65-minute. You got the 9 EMA on the daily, the 20 EMA, and the 50 SMA all within 30 cents of each other right at this spot. So, I haven't seen NVIDIA this compressed, and I can't remember how long. So, if tech gets a bid this week, like you said, you think it could, and the semis get a bid, you got MU earnings later this week. This is more of like a late stage base, but this could be playable just as a daily trader. Especially given how tight the range has gotten. I imagine, this will see some expansion soon, and could be a good daily trader. Not something I'm really interested in swinging long for, multiple days or weeks, but, could be a good daily trader off this launch pad setup. So want to see like 116-ish hold pretty much right at the red to green spot today. We'll keep an eye on this. If semis do get that jump off MU earnings, or, these start to lead again or whatever, for even if it's just a couple days or a week, this NVIDIA, is the leader, right? So this will catch a bid, regardless. So good liquidity, good range. I think this could be worth a watch if this holds previous day's close in the low today in these moving averages. So I got that. I'll be watching BidX. I don't know I'm going to buy into this today, but I just got it, so I keep an eye on it. As far as my positions go, I'm actually scalping this KEVL in the pre-market. This thing's moving with some heat and big volume. I still got this Lunar. I think this needs to go sideways for a little bit. Maybe an inside day would be nice. Let this 90 EMA catch up. But I took some partial trims on Friday. This showed a little bit signs of exhaustion. And I still got a decent position size in this, just looking to trail the moving averages. Rocket Lab's pretty strong in the pre-market. This thing's up 2.5%, trying to get over Friday's high, which is a nice look. I think they had a successful launch on Friday. I saw they launched like 5 satellites or something. So this is getting a little pre-market volume. Looks great. Just kind of letting this go, and hopefully it can get a big push. This weekly chart, I kind of got like a big fast zone here from like $7.58 to 10. Like if it can really clear this area, especially if you get small caps to like catch a bid and this IWM does break out, I think this could launch through this area kind of peaked at 750 on these last two runs. But man, if you can clear the spot, I think you got a really quick little zone here to $10, which was the lows after IPO. And, this thing's been trading massive volume the last 6, 7 weeks. Total character change from any of these last previous runs. So, love how this has been acting. I've been in leaps on this for months. Just going to keep letting those ride. And then I got this Tesla. I'm actually in TSLL, which is the leverage ETF. That's kind of my vehicle on this. I'm just in some equity from Monday. I took some partial trims at the lows on Friday just because I didn't like how weak the inside day was. I ended up adjusting my stop and it worked out well. So still got a decent position in this. And through these 2-day highs, so through the inside day high at 244, I'll look to add to this position. I think this is one of the better looks. I mean, you don't have like a clear 65-minute pattern, but you got a big breakout through this 235 base, nice inside day on Friday. And now this is gapping up with some strength, up $4 in the pre-market. This takes out 244. You could get 250 pretty quick on this. So happy with that position. And yeah, those are my positions. I don't see a ton of, 5-star actionable setups today. We'll see what the market gives us, but these are the names I'm focused on. Happy with how my, positions are looking into this week. And yeah, I think that's all I got for this morning.
There we go. Nice, Parker. We got a lot of similar, a lot of overlap there. Yeah, I like that. By the way, what you did on the charts there to have those daily moving averages sitting on there on the 65-minute. Yeah, dude, like this. I mean, I think you gotta watch this with how tight it is.
Let's be real, right? This isn't a late stage base, right? We've noticed a distribution and whatnot, but at the same time, if you study some historical charts and some stocks that have topped out, like bigger names like this too, they can, and that's just we don't even know if this is topped yet. I mean, it's too early to tell, but this could go all the way back to 130s, and just go sideways for a few months still. I think you can trade this in this big range. I mean, the last little bit there hasn't been much on it, but given how tight the daily moving averages are now, and that SMH has put in a higher low, the Qs are starting to shape up. You got MU earnings, potential catalyst for the semis this week. This could be on watch, I think. I mean, who knows? Maybe Nvidia ends up breaking the space and puts in like a massive blow off top, like in near the end of the year, early next year at like $200. I mean, none of us know. So yeah, I think it's soaked up a lot of sellers. And if you get tech and semis to bid up somehow, I mean, this is going to go with it, right? You can't argue that. So just as far as daily traders, I mean, it's such a liquid name. It's got 5% ADR, and that's even with some tightness the last 6 days. So I think this is worth a look.
Agreed. And then later if it starts to improve itself, there was some pretty nice options flow on AMD. And even Dell, maybe that was a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if that was short dated. But yeah, I mean, this is, more of a, laggard type, catch up, if you will. But, I think that we might start talking about this a little bit more, QQQ to SMH and then NVIDIA, AMD. But, we'll see. Good to have in your back pocket in case suddenly those become the forefront of the focus again. You mentioned MU earnings as well.
What's that, Thursday after the close?
Wednesday after the close,
okay.
I believe. So yeah, Wednesday after close. So yeah, gives us two days after that too, which is nice. Okay, yeah, you went over a lot of those. Still got this DoorDash. Last time I looked, this was up a lot. This was up a lot in the pre-market. I was actually up right at this 3 a.m. my time. Anyways, I'm still looking for this to get to that 142.90 spot, 143 zone, which is the high from earlier this year on this DoorDash. And then from there, maybe enter some more consolidation, let the moving averages catch up here once it reaches like the March and April highs on DoorDash. KVYO, love these double inside days. There's no volume in the pre-market, so I'm not noting this gap up at all. But ideal, we talked about this last night on Sunday Scans, but ideally you would have kind of undercut these double inside days, tapped into this like 33 spot in the 90 EMA, and then triggered another entry very similar to the day that we entered down here on 9/11. But either way, still like this position stop is well in profit, about right around this 32 spot, a little bit higher than that. Instacart still going straight vertical. I did sell some calls against this on Friday, maybe it was Thursday, I can't remember. Looking for this to enter some consolidation soon. And then yeah, add to this, but this has been green every day since. Da, 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 Tesla, I got that. Don't need to go over much of those other ones. FSLR, the best thing for this to do would be build out a new little range right around, above this previous resistance 233 and kind of above this around this 240 spot to build out, but I don't think that needs to be discussed right now. Tandem TNDM, I think this triggers over Friday's high again. We'll be interested in buying that. I'll have it up on my screen, and if it ends up getting the alert, I'll go ahead and buy it. This NTNX, this was gapping up a little bit. Man, I'd love nothing more than for this to give at least an inside day or at least half a session of consolidation, and I'd be a buyer of that. I do want to pay attention to this Unity today. I know if it, I'm kind of basically just using this 21 spot as a second trigger on it. Ideal entry for a re-entry was, Friday undercut of Thursday and Wednesday low, and then reclaiming that. That was ideal entry, but you could treat this like, day two red to green and break previous day high type of look. Well, I've got an alert on this AMSC, American Superconductor Corporation, through this inside day high, which was also last week's high, 22.30. Do have the 50 SMA right up above, so this would also be triggering through that. Just be mindful that you are into a declining 50 SMA, so it might reject. So honor your low of day stop. The other one I want to bring up is Starbucks, which I'll be watching this today too. I think this is very reasonable to watch. You've got the high volume close up here around 95.90, which we've been holding for the past 5-6 sessions, consolidating in this like secondary breakout move on again on Wednesday 9/11, where he kind of popped up. So mostly just looking at this area that we made a about $10 move up, and then we've consolidated in the upper half of this move really nicely, to where I think if we start breaking out of this flag, I think $100 mark would be a pretty reasonable spot to look at on this Starbucks, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that those are pretty reasonably priced. We go out to October or even November, $100 calls. Those are only $2.90 right now for a little bit more than one ATR out of the money, two ATRs out of the money, and a little over 2 months time. So I think paying one ATR, a little bit more than that for that move is reasonable. Netflix, I think they didn't have a downgrade, but they did have a rating. I think it was like a hold. I'd have to go back and look. That was interesting. This is opening up completely flat. I'm watching Thursday and Friday's low on this, 695 and 696, to see how we react right around that spot. I'd love for us to hold and retest that as support. First time we tried breaking over this like 707 spot was last week Wednesday. Kind of popped through that and came back in, and just been nuzzled right under this spot for now. But I love the way this is shaping up, and I think this is a priority to have on your screens this morning, or sorry, this week. YPF. I still like this. Want it to kind of hold these lows of $23 and start working towards this breakout. Dun, 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 dun. I do have a large portion of my watch list is 9 EMA waiting still. Um, yeah. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Get your stock box filled out. Market opens in 3 minutes. I think we have PMI data 15 minutes in. Da, da, da. Yeah, they got a little bit of a little bit of a downgrade this morning. I did mention that. I think it was more of a hold rating than a downgrade, I thought, but I think I just saw the not sure. I'm gonna find that for you though. Yeah.
All right, got my screen back on. Ready to go.
SCCO, yeah, I've actually got an alert set at last week's high, closer to this 107 mark. Um, I don't think you need to get ahead of this. I think you can wait for this weekly to more set up in this spot. I do like um I do like the way this base is filled out. Yeah, JJ, we should have mentioned that. Is that this is a priority is there's NNE, SMR, and OKLO. I think need to be. I've got a whole screen actually set up over here with all of these on it. CCJ included is up 3%. CEG, VST. I'm gonna be focused more on the smaller ones again today. SMR, NNE, and OKL.
All right, we got 30 seconds. Thank you guys, those of you who tuned in from X. God, I hate saying that. Yeah, so we're gonna live stream the rest of the day.